What up guys, Josh here from Liberseed, and I'm in my wood storage shed at the moment, and I'll clip in this video a little bit of stacking of this. I absolutely love stacking this wood. The sound of it, just as that noise, just is so pleasing to my ears, and the visual aspect is very aesthetically pleasing. Now this is kind of the equivalent of an emergency fund. Now, when I used to work and used to have high expenses, etc., I believed in having a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in the bank. That means money you just don't touch. It means that when you have emergencies, maybe your car breaks down or your water pipes start leaking, you're able to then go and fix that without worrying, without taking out a loan, etc., etc. The 6 months idea is where if you lose your job, or you break your leg and you can't work, you're able to then pay off all of your bills and live your life as normal while you recover, while you find another job, etc. So this is almost the same thing, like saving some sort of emergency fund within your electric or gas account that you have. Except this is better, because when you save money in your whatever currency you have, it's going to be eaten away by inflation. Every single year, the prices of your gas and electric is going to go up. The prices of everything is going to go up. And the value of your money, your fiat currency, goes down. Whereas this is a commodity, this is wood. And so wood is going to keep its value regardless. It's got an amount of heat that when you burn, the energy dissipates into the surrounding environment. So I have this much amount of wood currently stacked here. And next year or the year after, if I don't burn this is going to be the same amount, and it's going to provide the same amount of energy, unless obviously it gets damp and it starts rotting away. Now that's a potential other problem that you can deal with, such as burning it in a shed. This is already dry timber, dry wood, and so I don't need to leave this outside for it to dry in the sun in the summer. But this actually makes me feel a little bit more secure. I feel like I've got more security. I feel like the fact of me having this, and I'm able to just come and collect it, put it into the fire, and it heats up, feels a little bit more tangible, more real, more like I'm full of life. And so this is just stacked little bits of wood cuttings, bits that I found in other sheds. It's to help start fires in the winter. If the fire goes out, then it'll help it because it's small. Another thing about this wood is it's absolutely independent of what happens geopolitically. So it doesn't matter whether Russia and NATO countries have a problem where they start going to war, or the oil crisis because of Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, etc. That's going to fluctuate the prices of oil, fluctuate the prices of natural gas when they blow up the Nord Stream pipeline and blame it on Russia. And this wood is going to stay exactly where it is. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever what's happening in the world. It's not a situation where something happens, like a financial crisis, and the money within my bank account. Some countries like the UK have regulation around, you have £120,000 as basically the government will back it up, so that if for whatever reason, because they know it will, there's a banking crisis again, then you're going to have 120,000 that's backed up by the government. But the government doesn't really have money, they're already in debt, so that's going to be interesting to play out. Again, this is regardless of the banks. This is no intermediary risk. There's nothing involved except for what we buy and chop and stack, or what we produce, chop and stack. And so for me, this is a lot better. I know what's happening in my life. I know what I can deal with. I know what heat I can produce, and I know what I need for next year, etc., etc. So yeah, this shed's coming along really nicely. This used to be, if you remember, an absolute mess, full of wood. It was just stacked up wood, and we've managed to chop it all up, stack it up nicely. These pieces, people might think are very long, which they are. If you look at that, compared to me, that's huge. Now the benefit of that, I'll show you. The fire stove that we have, or what these old traditional Soribas have, you can actually put in with this size, which is absolutely fantastic. Because if you're chopping logs, chopping trees, etc., each cut that you do is going to take time and energy, whether you're using a petrol chainsaw, electric chainsaw, etc. Even if you was to saw it by hand, which I wouldn't recommend for doing all the wood yourself. Basically, you're doing less of the work, so you can put larger pieces of wood in the stove. I've got smaller pieces here. I've stacked it up, so I don't want to. You put it on the other side where it's going to take up more space. So we've got a small stack of wood. This is going to get a bigger stack, but each piece of wood is smaller. It's that sound again. And then slightly larger. So we've got like small, medium, and large fries, just in wood. And they're much longer. It's about, I would say 2 to 3 foot is the length, and that whole thing will fit in the stove. It's very easy. This is the stove, which is similar to the one I showed you in the bathroom, because there's multiple of these. Again, you put the wood in through here. It's currently not going to use, so there's just tissue. You're able to bake stuff. It's like a little oven. It's really nice. And then there's another for here. Now this brick is actually large heat dispersion bricks, and what it does is when this is heated up, this is actually in the middle of the building along with that, so there's just multiple walls, multiple rooms around here, and then this heats up large mass which disperses the heat throughout the house, kind of over a longer period of time than what your radiators do with the water to air. So this fire, obviously you can cook on it, all the different size pots, and that's inside the hole. I think this is really, really cool, and I don't know when the last time this has been emptied out, to be honest. Yeah, that's the oven underneath where that hole was, and then I presume wood can just go all the way around, but as you can see from this angle, as the wood goes through there, you've got all this space, so that length of wood that I showed you would fit in here perfectly. And yeah, so this will heat up the house. So I'll show you here. This is a large mass, and that's a heat up the living room, which is fantastic, I believe. The problem is you have to have this and this heated two separate. I'd like to kind of join them together so you're not heating two separate places. But either way, I'm sure this is the chimney breast as well. So all of the smoke will go through here. You pull this out, and that lets the smoke go up through the chimney, and it's just pretty cool. This would make, if you had this in your modern house with an insulated modern house, this would mean that your heating bills would drop dramatically. I would suggest like 20-30%, which is a lot. The reason why is just you heat it up once and that heat is held within, rather than trying to fire up the house and then turn off the fire sort of thing. It burns the material, holds the heat in, and throughout the night it just keeps going and going and going.